Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of equations and inequalities. This is standard 7.11a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 10 of the 2024 released STAAR test. This is a new item called drag and drop, and if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we've got a drag and drop here. Let me just throw one in here randomly. Notice that I could still use this as both answers. So some drag and drops, each answer can only be used once. In this case, you can use an answer twice if you really want to. And if you want to just try to move on without entering both, it will give you a warning message. So let's solve both of these inequalities here. We'll find the correct answers. So when we're looking at these inequalities, let's look at this first one. I've got negative 3x plus 9 is less than 18. Really what we do is we almost imagine that it's an equal sign here, right? We're trying to isolate for the x. So what would we do to isolate for the x? Well, we do the reverse PEMDAS, right? So we think, what are the weakest operations? Well, the weakest operation is that plus 9, because that's at the bottom. We go from the bottom of PEMDAS and move up. So plus 9 is our weakest, so the inverse of that is going to be minus 9. So we subtract 9 from both sides, right, to keep it balanced. That gets rid of the plus 9. It's negative 3x to less than, and then still a positive 9. Now, what's left is we're multiplying. We're multiplying by negative 3, and so we need to divide, that's the inverse, by negative 3. So negative 3 by negative 3 just gives us x, cancels out. Now here's the thing. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, it flips the inequality. 9 divided by negative 3, still going to be negative 3. So x is greater than negative 3. So let's try a number just to verify, okay? So I'm going to try, what's a number greater than negative 3? 0 is greater than negative 3. So let's see what happens if I just plug 0 in here. Negative 3 times 0. I did that because I can just get rid of that, right? And we gets deleted. So 9 is less than 18. That works. What happens if I didn't flip this? If I didn't flip this, it would be x is less than negative 3. So let me get like a negative 10. So negative 3 times negative 10 plus 9 is less than 18. That goes to 39 is less than 18. See how that doesn't work? So when you multiply or divide by a negative, you need to flip the inequality. So x is greater than negative 3. That's the first one. Could possibly be the second one, because remember, each one can be used more than once. Let's look at our second one here. We've got 4x minus 24 greater than 12. Same thing, we're going to pretend like it's an equal sign so we can kind of balance these equations. Reverse PEMDAS, that minus 24 is the weakest on the x side, so the opposite is plus 24. We do that to both sides. Cancels out. I get 4x, and that's going to be 36. Now I'm going to divide both sides. It's a 4 times x. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And I'm dividing by a positive 4. So when you divide by a positive, or when you multiply by a positive, you don't change the direction of the inequality. So this is going to be, that cancels out there to 1. So x is greater than 9. All right, so we've got that right there. And let's just put in a number just to verify, right? So let's try 10. 10's easy. Okay, 10, I'm going to just plug that back into the 4 times 10 minus 24 is greater than 12, right? So that's going to be 40 minus 24 is greater than 12. So that's going to be, what's that, 16, right? 40 minus 24 is going to be 16, still greater than 12. So that checks out. And if you want, you can try something less than 9 to see if it, doesn't work. It's a 0, right? So what if I put a 0 right there? 4 times 0 is going to be 0. So negative 24 is definitely not greater than 12. All right, so x is greater than 9 works. And those are my two answers.